Hey guys, my name is Skye and welcome to my channel. Today we have Marabella, who has been a high raw for 3 years. It has helped her with energy, focus, homeschool her son, live in her life purpose. She's a spiritual healer. She does hypnotherapy, EFT, but she's really got this calling to be a spiritual healer. Also, guys, I want to say today she knows how to do cacao moon ceremony. So we're going to speak on that. So welcome, Marabella.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for joining me. So, take us through how you found this because I love stories where there's no like massive trauma. You found this to better yourself.
Yeah, it came about in pieces, I would say, because when I was a child, I didn't like to eat meat. I didn't understand why we would eat meat. We have our pets, so why would we eat animals? It made no sense to me at all. And I can remember, kind of having it drilled into me that on your plate of food, you have to have meat, a vegetable, a starch, a fruit. And I kept hearing that throughout my lifetime. And so I would try hard to eat meat and I would just chew it up and like take it out of my mouth because I couldn't do it.
Of course.
And so that stuck with me for a lot of my lifetime. And then as I started to grow up and get older, different pieces fell away, like the dairy part fell away because my skin would break out. And one day, someone said to me, well, have you tried eliminating dairy? And I did. My skin cleared up. I was amazed. And then as an adult, a friend offered to do a cleanse with me where we would just have like fruits, vegetables, nuts and seeds, that type of thing, drink water, not have any TV or any negativity come into our world. And I was already kind of on that path anyway, but I didn't know it was called vegan, raw vegan. I didn't have a name for it. And so I went on the cleanse with her and I was like, how can I stay on this forever? I felt so good.
That's amazing.
And so I had extended the cleanse for me, but I didn't realize what I was doing was called raw vegan. And I just extended that 7 day cleanse for 6 months. And I had been cooking dinner for my family, staying, I guess you would say raw. I was raw for
Yeah.
6 months at that time. I got really hungry and I just caved. And so when I did this cleanse again, I made the intention I was going to do whatever it took to stay on the cleanse. And I found YouTube and I found influencers like Marcus and Kara and Jillian Berry. And I was like, okay, what I was doing on this cleanse was called Raw Vegan. Now I have people that I can watch that can inspire me so that I stay raw vegan.
Of course. I love that. And so can I ask, so you did it, when did you do this first 6 months?
Yeah, so the first 6 months was like in 2018. Then I tried the
Oh,
cleanse again with my friend in 2019.
yep.
And then about 2019, 2020, I kept trying it. I got further and further along in the journey. I had given up dairy. I had given up long ago. I was never a bread person. I gave up coffee. Um, but I was kind of flirting in and out with it. Then in 2022, I made a commitment to staying with it no matter what.
I
So
love.
no matter what came up, whether cooking for family, okay, so I'm cooking for my family and I have this intention at the same time. How am I going to stay with this? And so you ask, like I would just tune into my heart and kind of ask the universe for to show me the way. And then I found YouTube and what I was doing was called raw vegan. So I've been high raw for these years and loving it.
I love that. So when you first in 2018, that first 6 months, what did you experience? Like what was life like for you when you were a raw vegan?
Yeah, I felt almost euphoric, I would say. Um, I had more energy. I lead a pretty active lifestyle. I walk, I hike, I do Pilates, I do yoga. I love to be active so that I can keep up with my son, who is now 19. I'm actually I'm a mom of three, and I have two really young grandchildren too, a boy and a girl. So I need as much energy as I possibly can get. So when I first went raw, I had no grandchildren at that time, but my son, I was homeschooling him, and I noticed that my attitude was better. I felt better. I had more energy for him. I also felt like my sleep was better. My dreams were better. My dream life was better. My hair started growing. My hair is long now, but when I started, it was like barely shoulder length.
All the nutrients just coming out of
My
you.
skin glows. I just feel,
That's
yeah.
that's amazing. So now you are a high raw vegan. So what does that entail for you? Like what do you eat each day at the moment?
Yeah, so I usually get up every day and have some lemon water. I have green juice. I have an amazing, I call it my green goddess juice. I have that every day. I love it so, so
What's in
much.
this juice? What's in your
Um,
juice?
yeah, it's so good. It has spinach, lettuce, zucchini, cucumbers, apples, celery, um, ginger, sometimes jalapeno, and sometimes I'll have bok choy. It just depends. Sometimes I'll have whatever greens that I have. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Lemon? Do you have lemon in it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, lemon,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
And then occasionally throw a banana in that to have like a smoothie for like after a workout or something.
I like that. So do you make the juice and then you blend it through a smoothie, or do you blend all the vegetables with a banana?
No, I make the juice first in my Nama juicer, and
Yep.
then I put the juice and banana into my Ninja and make my smoothie that way.
I like that. That's actually a good idea for someone like myself or anyone who has gut issues because it lowers the fiber load, but you're still getting some fiber and a bit of sugar from the banana. What a great idea. Okay,
And
so
it makes
what do you have after your green goddess juice?
Oh yeah. So after that, what I've been loving lately is like a smoothie bowl, like kind of like they would call it an acai bowl, but
Yep.
I love that. I have like a delicious blueberry mango strawberry mix that I put in it, frozen bananas. I blend that up with a little bit of cashew milk is what I'm loving at the moment. And then I'll put like fruit on the top. So whatever fruit I have, blueberries, raspberries, maybe
Sure.
some banana. Um, I like granola on the top and maybe some maple syrup and peanut butter lately. That's
Nice.
my love right now. I think I could eat that.
Yum.
Yeah.
I could eat that too. That sounds really good. And then when do you eat next after that? So is this like around lunchtime you have this?
Yeah, so like today I woke up, I had the lemon water, then
Yep.
I had my cacao, and
Yep.
then I had after I did Pilates, I had my smoothie bowl,
Yep.
and I'm just having some green juice now. And then probably for dinner, I will have a salad with greens, spinach. I like to put as many veggies as I can, some probably green pepper and some sunflower seeds. What else I have? Oh, some sprouts, maybe a little tiny bit of green onion, and then a little bit of apple cider vinegar and maybe some olive oil. And
Yum.
that'll be dinner.
I
Yeah.
love that. So tell me, where does the high raw part come in? Because I know it looks different for every person who decides to do the high raw. So when do you have like any cooked foods?
Yeah, so occasionally I will have cooked foods if my family and I go out to dinner. It's really important for me to be able to go out to eat with friends and family.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple of restaurants that we'll go to where I'll have like some Indian food, and
Sure.
that just looks like some cooked vegetables, rice, and like peanut sauce.
Sure.
So I'll do that. And then I've also learned that like during my period, I will crave something comforting. So
Sure.
I'll allow myself to have some like steamed vegetables, some rice, something like that, maybe with like a savory, the I want to say, what is that sauce? Not soy sauce, but it's
Can
like
I
the
show you?
bar
Oh,
um
sriracha?
aminos, like
Oh,
coconut
coconut.
aminos.
Sure. I was
I'll
like throwing them out there.
yeah.
Right.
I'll
Okay.
throw a
Are there
little
any
bit of
other
that.
times, like I want to talk on this because I think it's really important when people
Yeah.
choose to have cooked food. Is there any other time? Because you find it's very personal, the reasons people
Yeah.
cook food. Most high raw vegans I interview are predominantly raw, but they have very personal reasons why they have cooked food. And I think it's a really good idea. Do you have any other times you have cooked foods?
It's mostly if I've had a very strenuous workout
Yep.
and I feel like I just need more. And I mean, by more, I mean that denseness, that heaviness.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels good to just have it as a comfort.
Yeah. So,
So mostly I enjoy being the raw.
yeah, what I've noticed is the more people I interview who are high raw seem to come from a background where they were never truly that unwell, as in like near death type, they have to eat raw to save their life. And they do it for reasons. Yesterday I interviewed a lady who does it because she likes to try the meal she cooks for her kids predominantly and have, I think, sushi on a blue moon when she goes out for dinner. And what I wanted to touch on for everyone listening is what I've noticed is as I've got along on my journey, and I still have all raw foods just because for my health that works, but I've added things back in like protein powders, which are essentially it's just like peanuts with no fat blended and hemp seed protein. It's nothing too fancy, but they help me find me. As in, I feel more like myself when I add some things that I used to do in. When we go raw, we really transform, don't we, into new souls. And there's part. So when you speak about, you've decided you want to have this moment with your family when you have some cooked food and when you have your period. I think this is like really important for like knowing who we are. That's kind of what I've discovered. What do you think about that? Do you think it's like important for us to, have some joy and associate some memories with the foods?
Yes, in fact, this reminds me of when I was raw for about 2 years and my son was away, and so it was just my husband and I. So we went out a lot, but at that point, I was having them create salads for me. I would look at the menu and have them create a salad or whatever.
Sure.
And when I came back into cooking for my family again, I had lost touch with what they ate.
Right.
I had no idea what to cook. And my husband took it so hard. It
Wow.
hurt his feelings and it made it feel like I didn't care anymore.
Oh,
And I broke down crying because I was like, of course I love you. I don't know what to cook for you. So he suggested I look through like my cookbooks, my I have like a special cookbook that I made for my family of meals that they want, that they
sure.
like. And I said, yes, that's such a great idea. I don't know why I didn't think of that. And I will have them come and taste the food as I cook it. That way I'm
That's a
not
great
that tempted
idea.
to taste. On occasion, I will taste on occasion because I don't want to lose so much. I don't want to lose touch with what they're having. There is some kind of connection in that.
Here is.
And it's important to me to keep that. And because food is important, how you fuel yourself is important. But it's also that family connection is also so important too.
100%. I will say, just for health reasons, I have raw food still, but the lighter I eat as a raw vegan, the more when I socialize at family gatherings or at restaurants, the more disconnected I am from those around me to a point where is that healthy? And I think each person needs to establish how and where they want to sit in that connection realm. I have found having things like nut oil, salt is enough for me. So I can connect still to people if I have a salad with some lemon juice, some oil, nut seeds, uh, like salt and pepper. When I was having like just a fruit meal and everyone's eating something different, it was very difficult to connect. And I'm not saying that's wrong by any means. Like there's different levels of healing, but I am just sharing that I've had to find where I sit probably long term as a raw vegan as opposed to my, you go into a realm, I think, where you go into a healing. But I think each person has to establish what they want while they're on earth, right?
Right. Yeah,
I think that like it's different for each person.
absolutely.
How often would you say you have cooked food each week?
I probably have cooked food maybe 3 times a month, I would say.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you found what works for you and makes you feel, amazing. I think that's really important. I'd love to talk more on that spiritual side that you discovered when you found the raw foods and being raw. Like, what spiritually has the food done for you?
Yeah, well, I was always cooking for my family. My family always came first. And so I would make their plates. Like I told you in the beginning of the interview, I thought I was making a healthy meal for them by having, the meat, the
Yeah.
vegetable, the fruit, the grain. And so I doing until I, really studied more into going vegan and the spirituality that came through with the changing to raw vegan is that as I was preparing their meals and then preparing meals for myself, it was like an act of self-love.
Yeah.
Like I am seeing what I need for my body and I am making that for myself. And, I learned ways of cooking their food and not eating it, like going out for a walk before I make their meals. So I'm in a higher vibration. So while I'm out for a walk, I'm communing with nature. I am, maybe silently praying or whatever, and I'm connecting in with myself, in with my heart, in with my intuition, in with God. And then when I come back and I'm making their meal's in a higher vibration, and I'm making something for me. Um, and I had never done that before. So everything going forward, it's of course not just about the eating, but the eating is a big, huge part. And connecting with the divine for me is so much easier now that I'm a lighter vibration, now that I'm not heavy with dense food, I guess.
Of course.
Everything like my digestion's better, my elimination's better, my mood is lifted. And I will remind my family of that too if they say, "Oh, why don't you eat this anymore?" Which they don't anymore. Now they say, "Oh, you don't eat that," and they're fine with it.
Yeah, and it's great to
But I
repeat
think,
that. Like, I think that's a good point.
yeah,
People need to know that everyone around you will eventually adapt. Like, where it gets to a point where it would be weird if you ate something, of theirs. They would be like, you don't eat that. So things do change if you're thinking of doing this diet.
right. My family knows. They know
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah.
it's really lovely because they will say, "Oh," sometimes they'll joke and say, "Oh, too bad you can't have this." But other times they will join me in what I do have. Like they're interested in the
I
smoothie
like
bowls
that.
and they have their vegetables. There are certain vegetables that they like, so I make sure to have those for them.
I love that. I think that's like really important saying is as time goes on, people just become used to what you do and they want to join in. Like that's where we're like representing the raw. People want to know why you
Yeah,
feel so good and they see what you eat. So they try and eat things that they can, where they're at mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually tolerate.
absolutely.
So what's like some of your favorite recipes?
Well, like I said, I love the smoothie bowls. I
Yep.
love the smoothies. I like to have like a lettuce wrap with maybe some olives and hummus and carrots and zucchini all wrapped up into like a little wrap. I love just having a mono meal too, like just some grapes or a watermelon or fruit. I also really like right now like yogurt that is cashew and
Mm.
coconut, and I like to put some fruit on top and a little bit of granola. I like that. I love zucchini. It's one of my favorite vegetables. So I'll just make zoodles and eat them, put a tiny bit of salt on them and eat that as a snack. I
Oh,
like easy.
they all sound really nice. I like that. I do like, I know, especially when I first went raw, I would do like zucchini noodles or rip up nori sheets and just put a bit of nama shoyu on top, like salt, which is, quite comforting, really.
Right.
So what
So
about
delicious.
saying you do things like meditation as well? What's that like for you?
Yes, I actually took yoga teacher training a long time ago, like in 2009. And we were taught that the yoga poses are so that you can sit in meditation for longer. So I have a meditation practice and it's changed throughout the years. I do different things at different times, whatever feels right to me. And that has changed my life as well. Um, Now, what I do for my meditation, and this is what I teach others, is how to focus in on your heart and how you can actually imagine breathing through your heart. And by doing this by yourself or with others, it helps you to develop compassion for others. And to be able to see through someone else's eyes is really important. So I really try to connect in with my heart every day for any reason. Or if I want to start the day out that way, if maybe an issue comes up in my life that I'm struggling with, I just come right here and
Mhm.
really focus in. It has a way of like grounding you, but also centering you. And then you can understand what's going on around you, understand your own self, but also maybe the other person or like the, like the, what is the core of the situation. So that's been huge along with the raw. So when you eat raw and then enter into meditation, it's a whole new understanding, like a whole new dimension of feeling good.
Yeah, of course. Wow, I was just thinking when you said you breathe through your heart is how often, because of the way the world is, we are conscious of our skin and we look in the mirror and we know our face and we eat and we'll feel our stomach, but I don't think about my heart enough, to be honest. Like you just reminded me, like out of all the things on my body I think of, I don't think of my heart enough. So that was a good reminder. So I'm glad
Thank
you
you.
said that. But that's I think everything changes when you go raw. I know you said like meditation is, it's like a whole new level when you eat raw, but life becomes a whole new level,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Oh, it really does. Synchronicities begin to happen, really good things when you start to clear out some of the toxicity on a like meditation is raw food for your soul, I would say.
True.
Because the toxicities come away
That's true.
and life just becomes playful and fun. And it's easy to shift the negativity just so quickly.
It does. I was thinking the other day how when you eat raw, what I notice is the whole universe is singing. Like before, everything was kind of can be like dark and scary. And then when you eat raw, everything sings. You want the window open because the light makes you feel good and the sun. It's like every plant, everything's like singing.
That's beautiful. Oh my gosh. I always think of crystals and I think of them singing. Like I can hear them sing sometimes, I feel like, but what
Wow.
you said is so
I
true
need
with the
to get
sun and
to that. I feel like I almost feel like when I went raw is everything started singing so loudly. I had to be careful how much energy I had around me. Like as in I avoided crystals a bit because I was trying to get used to like the energy of just the universe. Like there was like it's like that you like it's just starts singing and you're like you never realized all of this was here. You're like woohoo.
yay, that's so beautiful. I just love that.
Yeah. So are they crystals behind you or is that a painting? It's hard to see.
Yeah, I have crystals behind me and I have
Wow.
um um here's an amethyst, one of my
Oh, it's so stunning.
and with crystals you're right to be, cautious with their energy because they all vibrate at a different energy. And so when you go to pick out a crystal, you would go to the one that you're drawn to
Yeah,
and hold it like kind of like a friend, bring it home,
sure.
just set it where you feel like maybe it wants to go and let it connect with you, let your guys'
Sure.
energy connect with each other. And some crystals you'll find that you may not want to, have with you on your body. The energy might be too high. And
Right.
so put that one down for a while. You'll know, especially since you're raw. Um,
Yeah,
you'll know by the way you feel. And I bet you'll hear him sing too, because
of course.
I love the way you said how, let the come in. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when I went raw, I'd been in such a dark space and I was like introduced to everything light. And I feel like this is what it felt like for me is the universe is very fluid, as in the energy is always changing, but very what is very constant is behind that singing is the like circadian rhythm of the moon and the sun. Like that's kind of like something I was getting used to. And then I noticed like energies like this I needed to avoid for a period, like lighting and phones and things. It was just I was too broken. It was causing pain, but I did notice things, especially rocks, had like this set energy as opposed to like I'm sure the sun and the moon charged them, but they had like like a battery, a very set energy. And I think I was in that stage of just coming out of the dark. But now I've been doing more. I've got some crystals by my bed. I resonate very strongly with salt. I love to have salt rocks around me, but also cards. I don't know if you do cards. I've got into doing like healing cards.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, but it's
I
like
might
a process. I feel like it sounds like you were already doing a lot of these things before you found the raw foods, a lot of spiritual work.
Mhm.
Whereas for me, it's a little bit new. So, but it sounds like the raw foods really amplified that whole realm for you, right?
Really did. I was doing energy healing
Oh,
and have several energy. I have background in several types of energy healing. And when, like, the feeling in my hands as the energy came through my crown chakra and out my hands, after I became raw, it felt different. I
uh,
could feel it more strongly. I could feel it. I could differentiate between the different healing types that I was channeling much easier.
isn't that fascinating? What a
Yeah.
gift to be already be able to do these things and now just amplify them for people. I love that. So what I will do is I'll put your
Hmm.
details below. So if people want to do some energy healing with you, and you do different types as well, so people can reach out and connect with you on that. But with this, I wanted to talk to Marabella. We have this connection with the cacao. So I didn't have it for a while. And now that I have it, I said to her, because I know that you have it as well, and we're going to talk a little bit about cacao ceremonies and the moon. But I noticed I avoided everything. I wanted to be on just very plain, fresh foods for a while. But I noticed since putting it back in, I feel very grounded. I feel very focused. It's helped my brain a lot. And now that I've got my hormone replacement back in because I've had a full hysterectomy, I feel it balances me a little more. So I'd love you to speak on your experience with cacao.
Yes. So much like you at first, I felt like I couldn't have it.
Yeah.
I felt like I would call it crack cow because I felt so
Yes.
weird on it.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I joined a ceremony with my friend Callista. She is a spiritual author and healer,
What a
and
beautiful name, by the
she
way,
teaches
Callista. It's such a
Callista.
beautiful
Yep,
name.
she teaches about so beautiful. And she teaches about angels and
Oh,
unicorns. I've
wow.
taken angel healing with her and unicorn healing, and she offered a cacao ceremony. And in that ceremony, I did drink cacao. And what I did before is I meditated and I brought in the cacao energy. So I called it Mama Cacao. I brought in that energy and I said, why can't I drink this? I want to be able to enjoy the benefits because it has so many benefits, so
Mhm.
many minerals. It's so good for balancing our systems. It's great for sleep regulation. It's great for focus. It's a heart opener above everything else. Heart opener. So I'm like, am always working with the heart. I would love to be able to consume this. And so she said, well, tell your body that you'd like to be able to consume cacao. And so I did. I told myself I'd like to be able to enjoy this. And so little by little, I started having it a little bit more, a little bit more. And then I put it like I would have it in a cup of plant milk, and then I would have it in my smoothies. And now I have it in raw ceremonial grade cacao, nothing better. It comes in like these shavings,
Yep.
and I have it now every morning because I'm going to be facilitating several cacao ceremonies this year.
Yeah.
So now I have it every morning as part of my meditation ritual, and I love it. I feel like I've been more focused, gotten more things done. I've
Yeah.
had lots of synchronicities, a lot of work-related projects coming along.
I
So
love
wonderful.
I love that you've connected with it. I feel like my story with cacao is very similar. When I remember trying it, like you, is it was like too much. It was like my system was not happy with it, but there were benefits to it. And I was actually very confused why a lot of the foods that we are told have benefits were not benefiting me. And I think I'd pushed almost my nervous system too much with foods that my body didn't want at the time. Like I think things like fruits are very healing and fresh foods are very healing, but I think I might have pushed my body too much with them. And now with like things like mushrooms, I was like, no, that's fungus. That's not like true raw foods. Like I was but I think that was the healing journey at the time. Now I have a lot more grounding foods, and I feel like you, I'm able to help more people because I'm more focused, more grounded, my mood's better. And I almost feel like people talk about plant medicine, but then skip over things they choose to. Like I find anyone listening, cacao helps me each morning because I have no stomach, and I think I do have digestive issues. It helps my bowel movements as well. It has all these benefits, which in my what I call my raw consciousness, as in my grounded, my feeling satisfied, my feeling pleasure from the foods, not my healing like restricted, like where I'm just doing like one fruit for months at a time. I'm doing like my like long-term raw. It's like such an integral part. And I feel like it's been a journey to have it come into my life.
Yeah.
So I really resonate with that. And I said when we started this interview is you are going to talk us through what a cacao ceremony is, what it looks like, and maybe you get more connected. And I know people take it to get more connected to the moon and the energies and the frequencies of the moon and how that occurs with the cacao, because I hear it spoken a lot. About people in these ceremonies, and then all of a sudden they're more connected to the energies, especially on a full moon. So I'd love you to explain like the ceremony, but also how the cacao connects us to that full moon.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so when there is a full moon, the energies are so potent and so strong, and especially for manifesting, bringing in intentions, changing something that you want to change, healing something that you want to heal, because there's this huge illumination. And so it is, and plus the full moon does have an effect on us as people. It has an effect with the water, effect with us. It's very strong. And with the cacao being a heart opener, and then during a cacao ceremony, it's a great time to use the cacao to or come into ceremony with the cacao as you're drinking, and allowing your awareness to open to put forth your intentions and things that you'd like to manifest. So as you're drinking the cacao, your heart is opening. And then as you're doing the ceremony with the intentions, after the ceremony is closed, the intentions are free to go out into the universe to come back to you during, the months to come. So it's a perfect time to do a cacao ceremony. Perfect time to write your intentions as well. Also, a perfect time for gratitude. Such a good time to notice what you're already grateful for, what is already working for you. But with the cacao, it's just that little bit of extra ceremony, just that extra bit of connecting with the plant medicine, because you have it right. It really truly is a plant medicine.
Yeah.
And with this medicine and your intentions together, it's absolutely magical.
I love
So amazing.
that. When you think about what the cacao actually does, is a huge thing is like it increases blood flow. You get increased blood flow and your nerves,
Yes,
muscles, heart, everything is more intense. And if you're already having raw food, it's already intense and the universe is intense. And then you've got this charge. So, it makes sense. And I know when you said earlier, like crack cacao, like that's how I kind of thought of it for a period
yes,
of time. But then what has occurred to me recently, as I've had more raw foods, different varieties of raw foods, is just how magical the universe can be and how my journey I want is to experience things like a cacao ceremony or mushrooms or more dried, spices or something. And it's all plant medicine. It's amazing. So
amazing.
I think that's so exciting. Is there a window where you should be doing the cacao ceremony for the full moon? Is it like, the night before, that you can do it the day before? Is there like a 24-hour window? How does that all work?
Yeah, there's like I would say a 48-hour window. So it is you can do it the day before, the day of, or the day after,
Okay.
and still feel the effects. And you can go into ceremony at any point during the full moon too. There's not any like specific necessarily best time.
I love that. I'm really excited about this. I'm so excited, everyone watching, because Marabella and I are going to do a cacao ceremony live on Instagram for the next full moon, right?
Yes, I'm super excited.
So am I. It will be like, guys, you'll have to come and follow us. We will like promote it, but it'll be around the 14th, which is the next full moon, the 14th of March.
Yes.
But we'll promote more like the times and things like that and any preparation or anything you need to bring. So that's really
Mhm.
exciting to, explore different sides of the consciousness ourselves. So amazing. So this has been amazing. Is there anything we haven't spoken on that you'd like to talk on?
Oh, wow. Um, I think we covered so much. I didn't even expect the crystals to come into this at all.
I'm glad they did. I
So
feel like
I
it's
think
all
we've
part of
covered.
it. I feel like it's part of it. I feel like it's
Yeah,
part
it
of
felt so
you.
good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I just stayed open. I didn't even have an agenda for this. I just thought I'm gonna come and we'll see what's meant to come up will. So yeah, do you have any other questions for me?
I would love to know if there's something you'd like to share that like inspires you or you think about often before we go. Like there's something you want to, if there's one thing that you'd love people to know for you to.
Yeah, my intention, I guess my mission statement for myself is that I help you so you help somebody else so we can raise the vibration of the planet.
Oh,
That's kind of what I run by. That's what I aim for.
I
Um,
love that. That's when you know you're in alignment, when you wake up and you're so full that your spare time is spent helping and inspiring others so they feel full to pass on their fullness, right? It's like it's that living in purpose. So I think that's so beautiful.
well, thank you.
Well, thank you, Marabella. And I will put all Marabella's details below and you can reach out to her.